All right, in this video, I'm going to share some of my favorite tennis techniques that I bring to pickleball and I use as weapons. If you're a tennis player that has transitioned to pickleball, you can also use these techniques as well, and they'll sound like very familiar shots to yourself. All right, the first one, and one of my most favorite recently, is the topspin lob. So whether it's on your forehand, your two-handed backhand, or one-handed backhand, the topspin lob in pickleball is really practical when people come to the net. You can disguise it with a topspin lob, and you can do it on either side, and it's a really good way to surprise people when both players are in the kitchen at the net. Hit it over their head, but again, disguise it. Don't do a winding swing that looks like you're going to be hitting it up in the air. Just try to disguise it like it's a regular forehand or backhand, but at the last second, use your wrist to get under it and flick your wrist to get that topspin over their head. All right, the next favorite shot I like to use is the inside out forehand. So if I need to run around my backhand to get a little bit more power, you can really whip that inside out forehand to the right side or down the line and really surprise your opponents. Another one I like to do is the cross-court forehand, a really short dipping forehand that will surprise the opponent. You can get that sharp angle to the left if you're a right-hander, hitting a cross-court forehand on your right-hand side, and using that top spin to dip it over the net to your left-hand side. Another shot I like to use is the drop volley. When you're at the kitchen, you can use this to surprise opponents. They're usually expecting a deep volley, and I get people a lot with this. I'll do the drop volley cross court or just over the net if they're giving me a good opportunity, whether it's a high volley or a lower volley. Another favorite shot I like to do is slice approach shots. If I'm receiving the serve, I'll slice on my forehand or backhand side as I approach to the net. And if you come down enough, the underspin will surprise a lot of beginners. They won't be able to get it over the net. Another shot I like to do are the swinging volleys on the forehand side and the backhand side. And it's easier in pickleball because the paddles are lighter than rackets, the ball's lighter, and you can get away with flicking your wrists. And these become really good offensive shots, whether it's from the kitchen or if you're in no man's land, you can get away with these swinging volleys. All right, another shot I like to do is the jumping two-handed backhand. This is useful if someone's serving you a ball, a serve that's really high, has a lot of spin. It's harder with one hand to get over it. So with two hands, I can jump and get over that ball so I can get an offensive backhand return. So that's the jumping two-handed backhand. Lastly, the hitting on the rise is a style of play where you take the ball early and you don't allow the ball to really come up, sort of like how Andre Agassi's style of play used to be, where you would take the ball early and not let it get too high. And in pickleball, this really becomes useful because sometimes you don't have enough space behind you or you don't want to back up too far. So if someone hits deep, you can take it on the rise, meaning that as soon as the ball bounces, you get it early before it comes up above your waist level. So I'll illustrate examples of all these shots that I've used from the tennis court over to pickleball to use as weapons.